Hello everyone, my name is Trevor, I go by TheMrTrails, welcome to the channel. In today's video, the 1.7.2 update has the patch notes live, as well as we have a bit of a roadmap update coming from the developers. If you enjoy Dauntless and are not subscribed already, consider subscribing to the channel. I post Dauntless content here every week. And head over to the Twitch, the link is in the description. I will be over there once the update is made available, and we will be doing stuff regarding this update. So as we've known, the Heroic Frost Escalation is going to be coming out tomorrow, as it is part of a weekly rotation of all of the Heroic Escalations. And as we would expect at this point, Esca is going to have some twists on some of its moves. However, we do have a new thing coming to the Heroic Escalations, and that is going to be a timer that will be displayed in between the rounds. They say the timer is purely for bragging rights, but I would assume that anybody going for a fast time on Heroic Escalation is going to only really care about the end result. Next up, we have patrols returning to Dauntless, but they're called Escalation patrols because it's just going to be a random escalation. But it does look like here you're going to be able to choose between a 1 to 13 escalation and a 10 to 50 escalation, and these are going to be mostly for people who are looking to publicly queue for these hunts. Next up, they've made a few new default hairstyles, and you'll be able to choose any of them for free through the personality menu. And here's the intriguing one: if you've already read up on the roadmap changes, it's the Desperados Duty Event Pass. Now, when I first read this, I was under the assumption that this was going to be a paid event pass like all of the other ones, especially since the chest piece of the Desperados set is pretty high in demand, usually referred to as the Poncho. However, this is actually going to be a free event pass, and all you have to do to get the quest to unlock this event pass is going to be unlocking the weaponsmithing node on the Slayer's Path. However, this is a limited time only event pass, and it's going to be available until October 14th. Be sure to grab this while you can, as the Poncho has not been available for a long time, and is arguably the peak of Dauntless fashion. We're pretty close to having all of the behemoth dies back in the game, and Carabax is going to be the next one making a return. It's going to have its own rumor quest, and to unlock that rumor quest you are very likely going to have to break the head or the tail while the behemoth is either charged or enraged. Next up, the patch notes are now also going to be available in-game, and they are going to be on the login screen, presumably to give people something to read during server downtime. As we were told, the Slumbering Thunder event is not going to be the only event on Cape Fury anymore, but you will be able to find Thunderdeep Drask regularly on Cape Fury now. Has Esca been one of the more annoying behemoths to you because of how it will jump on its pillars all day? Well, they are going to reduce the frequency of that, so it will be on the ground more often. Are you a Warpike player and you've been frustrated the past several years because Rezakiri tails aren't able to be wounded? Well, fear no more, you are finally able to wound a Rezakiri's tail. And they made several tweaks to escalations, particularly Frost Escalation. Destructive Subtlety is nerfed. Rezakiri and Shroud will appear in Heroic Escalations. Cat's Claw's talent wasn't actually giving the proper amount of damage increase for a while, and they've made some changes to the modifiers that will be available in Frost Escalations. The Thunderdeep Drask Strikers previously were only a +1 when crafted, and then a +2 when power surged, but they are appropriately going to have Etheric Evasion +3 after this patch. In the fashion news, they reduced the clipping on several of the armor sets, and the climbing grips are supposed to being the key, no longer going to make the player fingers invisible. However, if you guys didn't catch in the previous thumbnail, my recruit gloves actually had my entire arms invisible, so I think it's more of a widespread issue than they are thinking here. And they also said they fixed this in the last patch, but Heroic Escalation is going to be on the 10 a.m. Pacific time schedule, just like everything else. For the 1,000,000th time, Valamir's Radiant Prism sound effects are now going to stop when it has been slain. And I did hear from a couple of you guys that you were not getting Ostian coins after level 51 on the Hunt Pass. That should be fixed in this update. But that is the bulk of what is notable about the 1.7.2 patch. Let us move on now to the roadmap update. So as I mentioned previously, they had already added the Desperados Duty Event Pass to the roadmap before we got our hands on the patch notes. In the previous edition of the roadmap, the hunting grounds that is going to be released in 1.7.3 was called the Ostian Wilds, but is now going to be called the Blazeworks Hunting Grounds. And they updated the 1.7.3 Omnicell tag with the name of the Omnicell that is going to be coming out, Blitz, which actually it isn't going to be called Blitz. This Omnicell's original name was Tempest, and they changed the name to Blitz, but after further discussion they decided to keep it as Tempest. And I would understand a change to the name to try to avoid confusion for people because there is the Blitz tonic. However, we also have the Tempest form ability of strikers. So I don't know, man, they just couldn't decide on a name. But interesting that they would put one of the names of the Omnicell on here when they already do have it pretty solid what the name of the next behemoth is going to be, which is Phalanx. So in the 1.7.4 update, we're going to be getting Phalanx, the new behemoth, an event for it, its gear, and a new cell that will be accompanying it, as well as a new feature that is going to be XP banking. And we already have some more information about that from their more in-depth roadmap on Favreau, and after unlocking the feature on the Slayer's Path, each weapon is going to store XP past level 20 separately. And it would seem that once you have made the decision to reforge your weapon, that the experience will be applied directly to your new weapon level. I think we would all appreciate that if we were given the option, we would be able to control when we actually use this experience. Because it would be really helpful to us if we were able to use this at level 19, instead of it just being automatically consumed at level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. But at least we will be able to earn experience now at level 20, however minimal that experience payout may be. And they've slid the Ostia Hunting Grounds into the testing phase, which we would expect given that it is going to be coming out in about 3 weeks now. And it actually looks like they have started their work on improvements to all of the shock behemoths, including Drask, Nezaga, and Stormclaw. Drask already got a little bit of a touch-up because of Thunderdeep Drask, but Nezaga and Stormclaw, they need some love, man. They just need some love. But yeah, that just about does it here for the coverage on the 1.7.2 patch, as well as the updates to the developer roadmap for Dauntless. Let me know what you guys think about the new XP banking feature. Are you excited for that? Because I know there are a lot of people who are hesitant to reforge their weapons sometimes, and I feel like this is going to be a very beneficial thing for those of you. But say maybe you just don't have enough Aether Sparks to reforge just yet. You will still be able to earn experience towards your next reforge while you go and get those. And are you excited that patrols are returning to Dauntless? Are you excited that the Desperado cloak, aka the Poncho, is also returning to Dauntless? Let me know in the comments. And once again, if you guys enjoyed Dauntless and are not subscribed already, consider subscribing to the channel. I post Dauntless content here every week. And if you want to stay up to date with my content, both here on YouTube and on Twitch, join the Discord server in the description. I manually make a post whenever I do anything content related, and I manually make a post whenever I do anything giveaway related as well. But I've been Trevor, I go by TheMrTrails. I will catch you guys next time.